the fight was like moving down the street. So we kind of turned, and the kid with the hammer started following. I was like, I got to make sure this kid with the hammer doesn't like, I don't know.
I was going to ask you, like, at one point, did you stop shooting the video and think of helping this small woman getting beaten? Or were you like, we kind of were like, YouTube views?
No, we were like, fuck, film it, but, you know, but
keep it rolling. Keep it
rolling. Roll it.
What's up, people and other creatures that are somehow listening to this? Maybe there's a I don't know, like a grasshopper that's crawled inside of somebody's computer or something. Is that how things work? And is hearing this? Welcome back to the Weekly Apocalypse. I hope your apocalypse has been good. I hope you have been enjoying the apocalypse. I hope you've been finding a way to maybe grow a little bit as a person. Actually, fuck that. No, you know what? Fuck it. This is not an introspective podcast. Growing is done, okay? No more growing as a person. In 2020, we've learned it's time to stop growing. It's all over. It's done. Just enjoy what you have left. There's no more growth. Society is growing, but we personally, we're not growing anymore. We're done because we're all going to probably die soon. So fuck it. No more growing. Growth is done. If you're a therapist, quit. If you're in therapy, quit. If you're sober, start drinking again. I don't really mean any of this. You know, I'm sober. I'm not going to start drinking again. But this week's been annoying. See if anybody can beat this. First of all, thank you to everybody who's been watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. Got a lot of new subscribers this week. Some decent comments. Some of them were insulting about my headbands, but I'm not going to stop wearing them because I really have nothing else exciting going on in my life right now. So that's what's happening. And to anybody who's listening on iTunes, thank you for doing that, although it's probably better if you watch on YouTube. You can enjoy the headbands. That's one reason to do it. Okay, so how about this for major fuck-up of the week? Can anybody beat this for fuck-up of the week? If anyone can beat this, please write in at The Real Mo Mandel on Instagram and let me know if you fucked up harder than this week. My own personal apocalypse. So I'm having a bachelor party next weekend, and we'll see if I'm having one. Little bitch-ass friends keep canceling because their wives are afraid they're going to get COVID, which they might, but that's none of their business. So anyway, we've decided we're all going to take COVID tests before we go to the bachelor party. And so I ordered one online. I got it. Showed up yesterday. Had a Q-tip about 700 feet long. It was just it was long enough to just, you know, whatever they put up those mummies' brains to scoop their brains out, whatever they put up their noses, you could do that. I mean, this thing was fucking 3 of my dicks, and it was supposed to go into my little sweet virgin nose hole. I was just going to have to get my little nose hole plundered by this little thing. So I had my fiance do it. She's a doctor, so supposedly she should know what she's doing. Hurt like shit, by the way. Anyone who's saying these COVID tests don't hurt, fuck you, Fauci. They hurt, all right, you little fuck? You little non-baseball knowing how to throw little fuck. It hurt. It was not enjoyable. Tears were coming out of my eyes. They weren't pain tears. They were just like I mean, I'm a man. I am a strong man. But they were coming out. Anyway, so I got the thing, put it in the thing, and the deal with these take-home tests is you have to send them the day you get them. The day you get the thing, the day you put it up your little nose hole, your little sweet virgin nose anus, that's the day you have to send it in. So I put it in there, figured, okay, last pickup's probably at 6. That's usually when mail pickup is, 6. Walk down there, get down there. At 5, and it says the last pickup for air delivery, which is what this is 4:45. So the $140 I spent on the COVID test, the nose rape that I endured, all for nothing. The test is useless now, and so I just had to throw it away. And now I have to go get another test today in person, probably with an even bigger nose raper swab. And I have to pay all over again. So, fuck you, 2020. Fucking 2020, you won again. But anyway, enough about me and my misery. Let's talk about the misery of the world. Who wants to talk about some world misery? First up, a story that I saw on Fox News. I like to watch all the newses. All the newses are equally ridiculous and fun. Okay, here's what I saw. A McDonald's worker, a fellow who works at McDonald's, refused to let a pregnant customer use the bathroom because she paid with a coupon. She went in there, she bought something, said, I need to use the bathroom. He goes, no. The rule is cash-paying customers, you paid with a coupon, you cannot use the bathroom. I cannot stand people who take shitty jobs seriously. If you have a shitty job, do not take pride in your job, okay? Don't put effort into doing your job correctly because you have a shitty job. So while you're doing that job, all your energy should be thinking, how do I get a better job? Okay, I never understand this blind sheep mentality where you go into a place and a guy who's making 13 cents an hour with no medical benefits, like takes it super seriously. It's like, why do you give a fuck? I mean, you don't own this fucking 7-Eleven. If I set this place on fire, what do you care? I mean, you'll get unemployment, which is probably more than you make now. I never understand that. I never understand when you go into a place like, oh, no, you're only supposed to take one straw. You don't own the fucking straws. What do you care, dude? You're just like a cog in somebody else's machine, you know? So fuck this idiot at McDonald's who's enforcing that rule. And it's a stupid rule, you know? Look, if somebody's eating this food, let them use the bathroom. They'll probably have to take a giant cancer-ridden shit, you know? Like, their bowels are fucking screaming from the fried toxic goo they just shoved in their mouth. Let them shit it out, man. And she's pregnant, you know? So if she's pregnant, just fucking, come on, dick face. Although, let me back that up, too, though. A lot of these pregnant women be using the pregnancy thing a little loosely as an excuse, okay? If you're pregnant and you're using it as an excuse, I want to see a baby bump. I want to know you're pretty. I mean, look, I don't know. This is going to get me in a lot of trouble because probably being pregnant sucks before that shows up. All I'm saying is I've been in places and seen women be like, I was at a Starbucks one time. This woman was like, can I get a water? Can I get a glass of water? And the guy was like, yeah, let me just, give me a second. I'm just making something. And she goes, I'm pregnant. And I was like, well, I don't know if that like means you can't wait 3 minutes for a water. I mean, you're not like, right? I don't know. Is that baby just fucking, that little baby have a hangover in there? Or is he like in the desert? Or what? I mean, you can wait a little bit, right? But what do I know? I'm a dude, and maybe being pregnant does suck at that point. So anyway, but the more important thing is if you work at McDonald's, don't do your job well, okay? This whole myth that you should always take pride in what you do, not true. Not at all true, okay? Only take pride in things that affect you personally. Everything else, just try to get through it and get done with it. Every job I ever had before I was a stand-up comedian or whatever I am now during COVID, where I sit in my fiance's apartment and talk to the cameras, the two cameras here. Every job I ever had, I stole from, and I'm proud of it. When I worked at Pete's Coffee, I stole. When I worked at the bar in San Francisco, when I was starting stand-up, I stole. You should steal, man. Steal a little something. Because these employers they're paying you shit. So steal something. That's what I'm saying. If I could tell anything to the youth of America, don't take pride in your jobs and steal from your employers. If there's anything I can impart to this generation, steal and just get by. And then get to something you really want to do that affects you, and then, get mad at young fuckers who are stealing from you. All right, so next story of the week that is a guarantee the apocalypse is coming. It's all about Mother Nature. Motherfucking nature is our enemy, okay? I was reading a story online about how there are bat attacks in Utah. There's been 44 bats that they found in Utah that have been involved in attacks that have tested, for rabies, that have rabies, and they're attacking people. Utah's had like this jump in bat problems, which is like, dude, bats. We have enough shit going on, man. There's racial protests in the street. There's fucking viruses. The NBA is going to get canceled again, probably. Baseball is getting canceled. Football is not going to come. I'm just saying, there's a lot of shit going on right now, and now we have to deal with bats attacking us. and they have little small teeth and claws. So apparently you can get attacked by a bat or scratched by a bat, and like you don't even know that it infected you. That's what's fucked up. So now we're going to have all these Mormons who are great people, and I like Mormons, but they're going to be Mormons with rabies. So we're going to have Mormons who have COVID and rabies. That's a hardcore Mormon. That's like a serious fucking Mormon, I don't know if you've ever seen a Mormon frothing at the mouth before. I haven't, but, we're going to probably start seeing it. And this is what really brings me, what I'm really talking about here is animals being little motherfuckers, and they're the ones who are coming after us right now. Because I saw another story about a squirrel that stole a pizza that was left outside of someone's house because that person was trying to do the right thing, right? They were trying to not get COVID from the pizza delivery guy. So they said, hey, just leave the pizza there. Leave it out front. The guy left it. As soon as he left it, this fucking little squirrel, this little freeloading puff feather, jumps in there, steals a slice of pizza, and starts eating it, and they're looking at it through the little hole. I mean, this is like, these animals know we're weak right now. That's what's going on. Mother Nature knows we're weak. She knows we're distracted. She knows we're having to leave our pizzas out there. And Mother Nature, that little fucking C word, has put the word out to the animals to attack, to steal our pizza, to attack our Mormons in Utah if you're bats. And and this is a war now between us and Mother Nature. So don't think the apocalypse is purely going to be human. No. This will be us versus the elements. This will be us versus the animals. Lightning. I've heard stories that lightning's going to start purposely attacking people. I'm worried that ants are going to start carrying off young babies in their sleep. We need to protect ourselves from Mother Nature. And I want to tell you guys a story about a time that Mother Nature tried to fuck me up as a child. So a lot of you don't know, I grew up in Boonville, a little town called Boonville, Northern California. It wasn't a farm, but we had some chickens and stuff like that, right? And we would let our rooster, for some reason, run around the property. Although, at this point, I don't really know why we did that. So that's like something that doesn't make sense in my story here. But this is a true story. But we used to have this rooster, and somehow we'd get out of the cage, or we'd let it out of the cage. I don't know. My parents are hippies. Maybe there was like a free-range rooster. Anyway, he was a little motherfucker. He was like the worst. Everything you hear bad about men, he was that. Because roosters are really the ultimate toxic male element in society. They puff their chest out, right? Roosters are just always like, who wants some? What's up, bro? Like every rooster looks like it's just saying, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up, bro? That's what a rooster looks like it's saying, right? And then it's like super loud. Roosters are just like fucking loud guys blasting music in their car. How you see like loud guys just like blasting music? That's what roosters do all the time. They're just like, what's up, bro? Who wants some? Monster Energy drink, bro. That's what the rooster's saying when it cock-a-doodle-doos, like, Monster Energy drink. Did you watch Entourage last weekend? And you know what's crazy about roosters? They don't have dicks. That's a true story. Or it's not a story, but it's a true fact. Roosters don't have dicks, man. They have what's known as a coacle. It's just like a little hole. They just have a little dick pussy, and they're the same thing that like a chicken basically has, like a female rooster chicken thing. And I don't know how they have sex. I don't know if they just like whole scissor fuck or what happens. But that's why roosters are so loud, because they're just like, I'm a dick, but I'm a tough guy. I'm tough. So anyway, we had this dickhead douchebag frat boy rooster at our property. And he used to attack me like hell. Like, he just hated me. He sensed something about me that he did not like. He just disagreed with me. I was a 6-year-old boy, and he disagreed with me on a personal level. Sometimes you feel like animals personally hate you. Like, if your friend ever had like a dog that just fucking hates you, like anytime you come by, that dog just like, oh, fuck you, and everyone's like, he's usually so nice, and you're like, shit, I guess it's me, man. I guess he doesn't like me. Well, this rooster just fucking hated me. He hated Jews. He hated 6-year-old boys. He hated everything that I was. He hated he hated second-born sons. He just hated me, and he would attack me all the time. And I remember one time I had to fight him off with my wiffle ball bat. I just had to fight him off, and he had these big fucking talons, and he was just like, "Fuck you, Jew." He was a little Nazi rooster. And anyway, he fucked me up. He like scratched me up and shit. And my dad had to take him out into the woods. He put him in the car. He drove him out, and he just threw him out in the woods for a fox to fuck him up, you know. And I used to have these fears, like, what if the rooster won out there? Like, what if he just fucked those foxes up? What if it really was like, it was like Lord of the Flies, like he had to learn how to go stronger and stronger and stronger and just killing foxes, and then finally he's killing like pumas, and then he kills like a bear, and then at one point he like emerges. I used to think like he was going to emerge back at our house like, "Heard you tried to get rid of me, bitch, you little Jew." And he's like this big fucking burly skinhead rooster now. I was just worried that he was going to come back and just really fuck us up, but luckily he didn't. But anyway, what that taught me was Mother Nature and animals are not your friends, and they're violent, and it's a violent world out there. So sign of the apocalypse number 2, animals are upping the assault. Animals are recognizing a weakness, and they're attacking. So there you go. How's everybody doing with the COVID thing? Like, is anybody else having any issues? I pretty much just stopped taking it as seriously because it's just getting too hard. It's just too hard. It was hard to use condoms, and it's getting equally hard to like sanitize my hands and wipe down my groceries and stuff. And because like I really always think about it in terms of the condom thing, in terms of like wearing a mask. That's the only other time you've been told to like wear something that you really don't want to wear as an adult, and condoms, it's like on the one hand it's easier to wear a condom than a mask because like I was going to say in certain ways it's harder to wear a condom than a mask because it feels so much better without a condom. That's the other thing I want to tell the youth of America. Don't use condoms. They kill all the feeling. They really do. They do. Take it from a guy in a headband. They kill all the feeling. This is what I'm trying to tell the youth of America on this podcast. Don't try at your job. Steal from everyone, and especially your parents. And don't wear condoms, okay? Because they're going to make sex less fun. And sometimes you won't be able to get hard because you won't feel it. Just don't use them. It'll be fine. Dr. Fauci's going to take care of it, okay? But, it was hard to use condoms when I was like out there fucking because, you knew it felt so much better without it. With a mask, like, it doesn't really feel that much different. It's just hard to do it all. It's just getting more exhausting. So I saw a story that made me think this is sign of the apocalypse because I don't think we're going to be able to handle this. This next thing that Dr. Fauci is telling us to do, and I love Dr. Fauci, and you should wear a mask, but it's just getting out of control. Fauci now is urging Americans to wear goggles for added COVID-19 protection. Apparently there's whatever the soft kind of mucousy membrane-y shit that's in your nose and your mouth that can make you susceptible to COVID. Apparently that's also in your eyeballs. And Dr. Fauci is saying if you really want to be safe, wear goggles. No. It's not. It is not going to happen. Okay, look, if you're 73 and you got diabetes and you're like barely hanging on to this life, goggle it up, okay? Go outside in a fucking scuba mask. Or don't, because you're probably on your way out anyway. No. If that's what it takes for the human race to beat COVID, no. We're done. We're not beating it. No one's wearing goggles, okay? It's overkill, okay? Because, yes, it'll keep you a little safer, but think about it. Like, if you're in your car, wearing a bicycle helmet's going to make you safer in case you're in an accident. Yes, you already have a seatbelt, but if you have a bike helmet, that's going to make you safer. But you're not going to do it because you look like a creep, and like you got to take some risk in life. You can't. It's like, yeah, Fauci, I get it, but like, dude, goggles look ridiculous. Like, even little kids wearing goggles look ridiculous. As adults, I don't want to walk around and look at everyone like a fucking insect, okay? And also, I'll say this for Fauci, right? We're going to get into this in a second when when my protester buddy comes on and talks about this. But Fauci won't even say explicitly that you shouldn't go to one of these protests. He won't even say that that's like going to expose you. I mean, I have not researched it because nothing I say on this podcast is particularly researched it, but I'm pretty sure he said something like, he's not going to come out and say you shouldn't go to protests. And yet he's going to say you should wear fucking goggles? I mean, out of one thing that's more dangerous than the other, it's certainly protests than not wearing goggles. So, I don't know. I'm just going to say this is getting really ridiculous. I don't know about you fellas out there and ladies, but it's already getting hard enough to just get like boners by looking at people and get turned on by people in public, which is usually one of the fun things about being alive, right? The summertime is the fun time to go out and just ogle people, just to kind of leer. Be like, oh, look at that. She's hot. Oh, that's hot. Look at those hotties. But now it's like the fucking masks, and I think because everyone's in quarantine, they've probably all gained weight, and like me, they kind of just gave up on how they look, and everyone looks like shit now. It's getting hard. It's like when I imagine being like Saudi Arabia. You just can't see enough flesh. You don't get to see enough to really get off on it. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a monogamous relationship like I am, you depend on looking at other women or men to get in your head to think about while you make love to your spouse. You know what I mean? Like you're locked up with your spouse. You love them, you're attracted to them, but you need some little sprinkles. And it's hard to do that. And if we have goggles now, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough to think about other people while you have sex with the person you love. It's going to be really tough, because that's what we all do, right? You don't think about somebody else the whole time you're having sex with the person you love, but you sprinkle. You just sprinkle. You're like, oh, there they are. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Oh, there they are. Oh, there you are. Oh, there's my English teacher. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's my cousin. You know what I mean? Like you kind of just have to flick back and forth like channels in your brain. That's what going towards an erection. Oh, yeah, that's it. I mean, an orgasm. You just got to click back and forth. Ching, ching. The person I love, the person I saw at that coffee shop, the person I love, the person in that movie, the person I love, that really sexy horse that moved elegantly that I saw as a child that I've never gotten out of my head, the person I love, my first cousin, fuck, and then you're done, right? I mean, that's kind of how sex, and that's what sex is, kids. All right. Sign of the Apocalypse number 4 for the week, art. Visual sculpture, artsy art. Sucks. I've always kind of thought that it mostly sucks. Modern art, I think, mostly sucks. And the fact that this piece of art that I'm about to tell you about is, lauded and on display, it shows me that there's an apocalypse happening in human rationale where we have to... Like, here's the problem with art. We're supposed to just accept that the shit's good. Like, I get things are subjective, but some art is just like, no one likes it. And yet, because this fractional, teeny little artsy community likes it, the rest of us have to feel like we're dumb, like we don't get it, right? So what I'm really talking about is in Trafalgar Square in England, they have these different sculptures on display, and there's this huge one now that just was put up, and it's a giant dollop of whipped cream with a cherry on top and a fly on it, and then on top of the cherry is a drone. So it's whipped cream, a cherry, and a drone, and it's put in a place called Nelson's Column, which is a public protest site, and it's called this piece of... So what would you name it? If it was whipped cream, a cherry, a fly, and a drone, what would you name it? What they named it is The End. The End. So it's basically like the final apocalypse. And why does that symbolize the end? I don't fucking know. It doesn't. It's just like, okay, you put a drone, which is like a symbol of oppression at this point, and whipped cream and a cherry sundae. It doesn't mean shit, right? I mean, that's not what I would have thought. I would have thought, hey, there's a giant fucking whipped cream thing, and there's a drone on it, because the drone was trying to eat it or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like an artist, but anyway, this is what annoys me about art. The artist said the piece was a monument to hubris and impending collapse, but also symbolized the hope of renewal. Fuck you. No, it does not. That's not what that symbolizes, okay? Whipped cream, a cherry, a fly, and a drone does not symbolize hubris, impending collapse, or renewal. It doesn't. That's just, you're just saying that. You know what I mean? This is the way I look at art. Why do they always have to tell us what it means? Okay? If you have to explain to me what your stupid sculpture means, it doesn't mean that. Then, like, it's not for you to know. Like, if you're trying to, if we don't know what it means, it doesn't mean that. Okay? Like, I don't understand that with poetry or art. Why is it trying to be so coded? You know? Why are we supposed to not know what this says? Like, oh, you have to know this and then this reference. Like, well, then just fucking say the shit. Just tell me. Like, just fucking say it. Like, I don't understand that. I'll never understand that about why anyone would want to be part of, like, an expressive medium and make it impossible for people to understand what you're trying to say. It's just stupid. Then why even say it? You know? I'm getting really heated up about this. But anyway, I just think that's dumb. Because it's like if I told you a joke and then you don't think it's funny, and then I was like, no, let me explain to you why it's funny. Because he has said that, and then I said that, that's what makes it funny. You're not going to be like, oh, and then actually laugh. No, you're going to be like, oh, okay. And what you're really thinking is, I think the fact that you're explaining it makes it not fucking funny. That's what that means. So let's blow that shit up. Fuck your stupid art thing. I just, I'm done with it. All right, we got Jake's going to come on in a second. He's going to talk to us about the protests. But I have one more thing I wanted to talk about that I thought was pretty weird. Again, thank you for everybody who's been subscribing on YouTube. That means a lot. It really does. It's a very competitive market, YouTube, but I'm trying to get those numbers up. I need to start building an online following because that's what it's all about. And I think, with stand-up not really going to be around for a while, I can't go out on stage. I can't get people to be fans of mine through that way and build myself up like that. So it's all about this. And truly, I'm having more fun doing this as well, So final apocalyptic thing of the week is people choosing sleazy, weird partners. High-level people choosing really bad partners. And the more human beings choose to procreate and be with scuzzy people, the more the apocalypse will rush upon us because we're going to keep creating more shitty, fucked up people. And I'm seeing a lot of this out there. The first person that I'm shocked about is Nicki Minaj, who is gorgeous, rich, seemingly, I don't know anything about her, but she's seemingly a smart person, very successful. And I was just reading that her baby daddy, she's about to give birth, is trying to request the judge to let him go to the birth, something that he's not allowed to do right now because he's a convicted sexual predator, I think. I mean, I think he is. I think the idea he's a convicted sexual offender and was supposed to register as a sexual predator or sexual offender when he moved to L.A. and didn't. So then he got, arrested, and now he's on, house arrest or something. So, but either way, it's like, that's the best person she can marry? The best person? Nicki Minaj is fucking loaded. She's talented. She's gorgeous. There's a lot of people out there, and this may be a controversial statement, but there are a lot of people out there who are not convicted sexual offenders. There are so many men out there that do not have to register as a sexual predator when they move to a new place. There are at least 50 people out there. Well, based on the Me Too movement, there's at least 28 people out there who are not sexual predators and sexual offenders. She could have married any of those people, but she married a guy who has to. I just think that's just that's apocalyptically low standards. Nicki Minaj, come on. You got great genes. You got winner genes. Combine those with some other winner genes. Make us a fucking real winner person. Because now you're going to take your winner genes, you're going to combine them with some fucking loser-ass genes, and then you're just going to make her right back to a mediocre person. Winner those genes up. And again, I don't know this guy. I'm sure he kicked the shit out of me. He's a felon, so probably shouldn't say anything bad about him. I'm not going to say his name, so that makes us cool. Maybe she has a lot of husbands. You don't know which one I'm talking about. Maybe she has a lot of sexual predator husbands. You don't know. Okay, and I saw this other story that's also low standards. Ghislaine Maxwell, who's supposedly the madame for Jeffrey Epstein, who died by suicide, quote unquote suicide, in prison. So she's apparently like super scumbag, pimp, awful human being. I was reading the story that says Ghislaine Maxwell's rumored husband reportedly threatened to use force if any intruders came while she was locked up in his place, hiding out before she got arrested. And I was like, husband? Who the fuck is marrying Ghislaine Maxwell? Who the fuck is marrying her? And who is married to Ghislaine Maxwell? And then here's all the shit going on about her. I was like, I'm going to write it out. Yeah, I think we're going to make this work. Everybody's got their bad qualities. How understanding of a husband do you have to be married to Ghislaine Maxwell and be like, they just don't know her like I do, They don't know the good parts. Look, we've all run sex trafficking rings for billionaires. We've all done that. We've all been there. But they don't know her like I do. They don't know the Ghislaine that I know. They only know the rapist Ghislaine and the pimp Ghislaine. They don't know the sweetheart. They don't know those tender times. How the fuck does she have a husband? And he's like a rich tech guy. So, like, all you ladies out there who can't land a good man, who can't get a rich, decent, hardworking tech boyfriend man, guess who can? Fucking Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know how good in the sack you got to be to get over that reputation, but just think, most of you ladies who are watching this are dating some fucking loser who, works at McDonald's and doesn't let pregnant women use the bathroom. Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's not particularly attractive and is a fucking major creep who's going to go to jail, has a pretty decent-looking, rich husband who is willing to attack intruders if they come after his rapist, scumbaggy, alleged scumbaggy wife. So, yeah, how do you feel about yourself? Anyway, let's meet Jake. Let's hear about protests. So we've got Jake Silberman. He is a fro-haired comedian, Jew.
Yes. Yeah,
guy.
you nailed it, dude.
That's all you need to know, really. Is there anything else people need to know other than that?
Not at all. There's just I'm part of the tribe, and that's really what we're out here defending right now. So.
Oh, is that why you've been out at these protests? Is it Jewish rights that's going on down
there? It's Jewish
there?
rights. I don't know I have no other reason to be down there except to defend my people. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. Jake's a really funny comic, and I like looking at his videos and stuff online, and he's been making these videos of doing man on the street down the protest, which, first of all, genius idea, and you have huge balls, dude, because I live about an hour, I'd say like a mile from the protest.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking gone. No.
Dude, you gotta know, just the apartment background you don't look like a guy who's going to protest, man. That's a nice kitchen.
Yeah.
You got shit going on there.
Oh,
it's
dude,
beautiful.
I'm about to marry it. This is my fiance doctor's apartment, okay? I'm about to marry it.
Don't.
Yeah,
don't fuck up your face by a tear gas can. No.
Dude,
You got it made.
Yeah, you know how high the standards are to be an out-of-work comedian trophy husband, looks-wise?
Yeah.
And I'm already not meeting them. So
yeah, well, massage those shoulders and give her the best dick you can, man.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to throw that pay your rent dick.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I every night I see the protests and I see the helicopters, and I'm like, fuck that. And then I was looking at your videos on Facebook, so that's fucking wild.
It is wild out there. It's like, I don't know. I think that, like, it's become this thing where, like, you get this story. It's like protesters versus feds. But when you actually go down there and talk to people, it's like there's a lot of weird – I mean, there's just weird people. There's crazies. There's people who don't agree with everything, So you get – it's much more diverse in, like, what people actually think than just good versus bad. And I think that's kind of why I want to make them, is just, like, I actually want to know what the people there are doing rather than just what Twitter is telling me is going on.
And also, let's be clear to anyone who hasn't been to Portland, downtown Portland's a fucking zoo when there's not protests.
Yeah,
I mean, it's already crazy,
right.
Homeless zombies everywhere. I mean, it's already sketchy.
Right. And, like, with the pandemic before the protests, there was already more and more homeless people out there. So, dude, I was down there the other night, and I saw some people who clearly have just made it their zone to, like, collect cans. Like, they're just like, dude, they're going to be
hundreds
of beer cans here because people are getting faded down there. I mean,
so,
okay,
that's what I was going to
faded.
ask you. I'm seeing some videos. I'm like, some of these motherfuckers are having fun.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, dude, think about it. There's nothing going on. Like, there's not shit to do. It's summer, so people want to be out. This is
Burning Man got canceled.
The burn is done. So all these Portlanders who wanted
Right.
to go to the fucking trip balls in the desert are just like, well, I guess I'll be for the cause this month. And there's a lot of like young people out there who you can tell are just like, bro, like, yeah, maybe they like care, and I'm not here to question where their politics are at, but it's like they also haven't had a summer. Like, they're just out getting faded with their, like, they just graduated high school.
Right.
Like,
Well,
they just want to have fun.
It's the only time that you can go outside and not be judged for being around people. You know? Like, I went to the river this weekend, and there was a shitload of people there, and I was like, I don't want to post any pictures on Instagram of this because, like, I feel kind of guilty about it. Like, this is not safe.
Yeah.
But if you're at a protest, people are like, good for you.
Oh, people are like, look at where I am, dude. Everybody's live streaming and shit. So, yeah, it's just – beyond the politics, it is a fucking hang. Like, people are there.
Yeah.
Like, there's
people
some
trying
people
to get
who are,
laid. I mean, people are.
Dude, there's some protest baddies. I mean, there's some people who are wearing clothes. You're like, this is not useful to run from cops. You're like, what are you wearing that
You're
for?
like, are high heels the best way
yeah,
to avoid
like,
tear gas?
you really just doing this thing? But people are out. I mean, you know, and I think.
What would you say the
that's-
percentages? What would you say the percentages? Because if you're like a yuppie fuck like me, you're seeing naked Athena, and you're like, man, fuck off. A lot of these people don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a lot of people out there in Portland. I'm like, I bet none of these people are even friends with a black person. You know what I mean?
Think, right. I think, dude, they're so, like, that's the thing is, like, it's so hard to, like, really grasp it because, you know, when I'm down there, I'm only able to talk to maybe in a good night because it's fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say, 10 to 15 people because a lot of people don't want to be interviewed. You're not going to ask everybody. Like, you're not going to just go around. You know, you kind of pick, oh, maybe this person might have something interesting to say. But you're also avoiding getting gassed. Like, I've been tear gassed
really?
a fuck ton.
What does that feel
dude.
like?
Oh, it's like you just go, like, blind, basically. Like, as soon as you blink, it gets in your eyes. You just, like, can't. You're like a newborn puppy. Like, you can't fucking see anything. And you kind of want to vomit. Like, it makes you sick. But it clears
I've
out
gotten
like 10
that
minutes.
written on comment cards during my Santa shows.
Yeah.
I've gotten that exact comment.
Yeah, it's like it made you kind of blind and you wanted to vomit.
I felt like a puppy, but I wanted to throw up.
It's one of the greatest reviews at Harvey's you can get, dog. I don't know. I mean,
dude, that's wild. So like, and when you got tear gas, were you in the right in the fray, or is that just kind of is it happening pretty generously?
It definitely like kind of will spread. But we're up in the front. We're trying to like, you know, we want to make the videos interesting. We're trying to do our best to show like, hey, this is what it's like. So we have to get shots of the front. But those guys they throw that shit, man. They are not careful with it. They finally like, I don't know if you've seen the footage of like protesters having leaf blowers to kind of push it back. Well,
that's
now the
crazy.
feds,
People haven't seen that. Just so people set the stage. The feds are shooting tear gas. Then there's a bunch of protesters with leaf blowers blowing it back, and then the feds on the other side also have leaf blowers.
They have a leaf blower now, and they're.
It's became like it's this close from being like a bunch of kids with super soakers. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
dude,
Like
it's just
fucking
like
a
dads
cartoon.
competing for fucking lawn space. So that shit wafts around, and you know you feel like a little burn, and within a second you're like covered in it, and you're just like you don't really always have time to be like, oh, it's there and now it's here. It's just out, and you're.
How often when you're down there do you hear somebody say, man, I was really hoping America would feel the burn, but not like this, and then just start high-fiving protesters just nonstop? How many times have you seen that?
Biden. I have not seen it. I've not
you can
seen
use
it
that,
yet.
by the way. You can use that for your next video.
There we go.
It's a solid bit.
It's weird, man. It's definitely like I mean, if you don't want to go down there, like I said, I just encourage people to like just be aware that sometimes the narrative you're being told is not. It's like, obviously everybody knows the media is kind of bullshit, but it was just like protesters versus feds. And it's like, dude, that's it. But there's also like the human side of the story, which is just like people like, you know, people not agreeing. I mean, we talked to protesters who were like, yeah, I like this part of it, but I don't really like that they're chucking shit at the Fed.
Right.
You know, like there's a whole range of opinions that just don't really get covered because it's not like convenient for the narrative,
well, this
I guess.
I was reading some story today, and this is just like I thought this was one of the more Portland things I'd ever read, but also just a good example of what you're saying. So, once the feds got here, this group called the Wall of Moms came out. And they're like standing in front of the protesters so that they can't get attacked because there's all these moms holding hands. It's kind of a beautiful idea, right?
It is.
So the Wall of Moms is now having beef with another BLM organization called Don't Shoot Portland. So apparently, tell me if I'm wrong, because I was reading this. This is this side of the left just eats itself all the time. You can't do it right.
Yeah.
So
it was the leadership of the Wall of Moms basically went behind this other group's back.
I think what it was is the leadership of the Wall of Moms, a bunch of sort of dumpy, well, that's not even, I don't need to call them dumpy, whatever. They're just a bunch of fucking moms.
Fuck these moms trying to protect these kids.
Yeah, just a bunch of moms who, look like they enjoy frozen yogurt from time to time out there. Well, they're making a wall, so that's who you want making a wall.
Right.
I don't know why.
Froyo moms.
Yeah, Froyo moms. And that was going to be their original name. So anyway, they were making this wall, and then they decided to, and this is, maybe for the best, although I don't know that it's necessary, but they said, we are going to hand over the leadership of the Wall of Moms to capital B black moms.
Right. Because it was I assume it was a white mom who would,
I guess it was a white mom who started it.
Right.
So, first of all, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if it's seems kind of, it's like you're protecting, most of these.
I was just kind of when I read it, I was like, what leadership do you guys need? Isn't there just a Facebook group? You'd be like, yo, if you're a mom, just roll through and link up. I don't how much organizing are you your job that you signed up for is pretty clear. It's you want to not let the protesters be it's an admirable thing to do
totally
for sure.
Admirable. Totally admirable.
Because I saw some of the pictures of these moms and they got fucking lit up by these feds. But I'm like, what is the Wall of Moms
Isn't it just
bureaucracy?
Is it Sandy's bringing the orange slices? For
the what could you possibly need to organize? But yeah, they were gonna turn it over.
I also
and
think
then
it's kind of weird that they said I think it should be black women who are doing the Wall of Moms because it's let's be honest, most of the people they're protecting are white. Okay, have you been to Portland?
Yeah,
it's not
right.
It kind of makes these are the moms of these kids, right? And most of these kids have white moms.
Right. So basically it ended up being that some lady tried to start it as a 503, she tried to turn it into some type of charity, right? Or something like that.
Well, yeah, but this is what I understand. So it said that the woman who started it, I want to find her name because she's got a really mom name.
Oh,
her name is Brenda. I think her name is Brenda.
Line up, Brendas, unite.
Yeah. Anyway, she tried to make it a nonprofit.
Right, nonprofit.
But then I was like, well, why shouldn't it be? What is it supposed to be? A for-profit?
I think what the main beef that I thought I kind of saw, because I read it and I was like, this is probably important, but I don't really. Am I really gonna pretend I really care about these?
You gotta pick a side. You gotta pick a side,
right? I side with the moms and you side with them, and it's okay. But what I saw was basically they kind of. The complaint I saw was basically that the moms kind of started to shift the narrative well, we're not just going to protect Black Lives Matter protests. They pulled in all lives matter except with protests.
Oh,
They're
that's
we're
funny.
We're going to protect all protests. And they were like, wait, what? You said this was going to help just. So that's, I don't know. It's kind of funny that they pulled in all protests matter thing or some shit.
Yeah.
But
you're right. That's exactly. They did an end around and they snuck in all lives matter. Yeah.
Yeah, they stuck in all protests matter audible at the line, and now they're mad about that. So I don't know.
But it's also these are fucking just a bunch of moms out there getting shot with rubber bullets. What do you want them to be like? Wait, before I stand in front of that rubber bullet, what are you here for?
Right,
Isn't
it cool that at maybe in future protests there's an organization that would be like, yo, we're gonna show up and help you? I don't know. I mean,
or is it the woke thing for them to be like, oh wait, what are you protesting? Moms don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
Moms aren't
climate
here.
change?
Oh,
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that's just a weird little Portlandy microcosm of some of this shit. I will say we were down there filming. This is probably going to be the last video we do for a minute because I'm kind of tired of getting gassed. And I feel like at some level
Why don't you get your mom out there to take that gas to the face?
My mom's in Minneapolis, and I'm not putting Mama out
She's
in
not
front of
taking
these
gas
fucking.
to the face for you.
No, not doing that. No, she's but. Would your Jewish mom do that? Would your Jewish mom get lit up?
Dude, my mom is a hardcore fucking hippie. And so she's like,
oh,
it was so funny.
So
I was
she
talking
would
to
be
her
with it. Okay.
Oh, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's 74, and my dad's 76, so thank God they're not getting out there. But she was like, yeah, we were driving through San Francisco, and we saw all these protesters, and I felt so guilty because I'm not out there, though. I'm like, Mom, I'm in my 30s. I'm right next to these protests. And me and my fiance are happy to watch fucking Peaky Blinders on Netflix and say, God damn, those helicopters are fucking loud. We ain't doing shit.
Oh, shit. That's hella funny. Yeah. I mean, it's
so she might.
She'll be out there. She'll be out there. Get her out there, you know? But we were filming the other night, and there was kind of just to add to this, like, again, like things are a little more complicated than people want to, like, admit, is that we were walking away from kind of like the tear gas area, and I saw this kid with like a hammer. You know, when I say kid, it's like he could have been 18, he could have been in his early 20s. I don't fucking know. When you get so young, I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know how old you are anymore. But, you know, in the young adult age, and he's like, hey, having this hammer, and he's like beating like a light box, like under a traffic light. And I was like,
sometimes you got to teach that light box about social justice.
It was a racist light box.
Dude, because here's what I heard. I heard that light box, when black people walk by, it dims.
Right.
So they don't even know where they bump into shit. Like
it's a bullshit light box. So he was attacking it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, that kid's got a hammer, so just be aware of the kid with a hammer. And then I kind of like looked over, and there was like eight, I think they were his friends, kind of like beating on this like protester who from my angle looked like a pretty small woman. Like, she had a big-ass sign. The sign was bigger than her, and it said, fuck the feds. So they were clearly on the same side.
Like you couldn't even see her because she was beneath her giant sign?
Yeah, she was just – but they were fucking wailing on her, and I don't know what started the beef, but I mean, this lady was, like, wafy. Like, she was not a strong –
And there were numerous men beating a female protester?
They were like this kid's age, like 18, 19, 20, and they kind of were – the fight was like moving down the street, so we kind of turned, and the kid with the hammer started following. I was like, I gotta make sure this kid with the hammer doesn't like. I don't know.
I was gonna ask you, like, at one point, did you stop shooting the video and think of helping this small woman getting beaten, or were you like, we kind of were like YouTube views?
No, we were like, fuck, film it, bit, you know. But
keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Roll it. Well, that's the fucking story. Is that, I mean, you know. It was just hard to judge what was going on because we were kind of like, they were in the street, we were behind parked cars, so you kind of just like, what the fuck is going on? So we kind of followed them, and they were in front of us. So we get to it, and it's kind of being somewhat broken up by the time we're like in range, but my camera guy is filming, and these two, like, I don't know, what do you want to call them? Antifa, anarchists, whatever, like all black masks. I don't know what they identified as.
They're liberal protesters, but they're in blackface?
Blackface, man.
They're wearing cloth blackface? That's just a way to get around blackface. That's all that is.
It was really problematic.
Dude, it's problematic as fuck, dude.
It was very
I don't care if it's fabric. That's still blackface.
You know, it was cultural identity appropriation, you know. But they got in our face and were like, we don't film protesters. We don't fucking film protesters. And, like, slapped his camera and broke the light off of it. And they were just
this is your guy's shit?
This is my guy's shit. My cameraman was just like, he's like, and we were just like, we didn't ask you. You're not our boss. You're like, you guys are out here marching for like freedom. And then
and this is one of the guys who was beating the shit out of the girl?
No, these were two anarchists who also were like, I don't think it's important to help. This is what their thing was. The group of like young adults was like mixed. It was like a couple of black kids, a couple of white kids, and what they kind of said to us is like, we don't film this because like we're not trying to incriminate or we're not trying to show this. We don't want to show this, basically. Yeah. And we have it on camera. And then they fucking start calling us cops, which down there is like, if you get called a cop, immediately people are going to be like, wait, are we going to fucking jump you? Because I've had other friends who have been surrounded just because they're like, what are you, and it turns quick.
And what did you say? Jews don't join the police force.
I just like,
no. You put it on your shoulder. Yeah, you put your star on your shoulder.
This is a hate crime. Leave me alone. Yeah, it got real. It just got like war of words kind of shit, and we ended up bouncing. But it's just like that bullshit to me. It's like, so you are mad about cops and all infringing on people's rights, but as soon as it goes against anything you believe, it's okay to like basically get these dudes like mobbed up. Like you're trying to get us a group of people to kick the shit out of us. Like fuck you.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that seeing a woman get assaulted. They're like, let's see, there's one problem of her getting assaulted. There's one problem of this guy filming.
Yeah,
that's the one we got to handle.
We got to stop it. Look,
guys,
we got to fucking
away.
stop it.
We got to really handle this fucking YouTuber.
It's fucking bullshit, you know.
Well, if tell people where they can watch these videos because they're fucking great.
It's you can watch it. I'm putting it on all platforms now, but if you want, YouTube, just my name, Jake Silberman, they'll be up there. We'll drop one, probably tomorrow. But yeah, check them out. Hopefully, people enjoy them and kind of get a bigger idea of what's going on.
And did that woman die from a hammer strike? Did we ever find out what happened?
The hammer never got brought up, and they were kind
good.
of breaking it up. No. If it got like really bad, we were jumping in. It was more of just like a lot of pushing, but it was just odd because anytime you see a group of people attacking anybody, you're like, yo, this does not look good.
Anytime you see a guy carrying a hammer and he's not doing construction, it's a scary thought.
It's like, what?
If you see a guy with a hammer, you gotta be like, yo,
where do you work?
Where's the house?
Like,
where's the lumber that you're
build
about
something
to hit?
for me right now. Yeah.
All right,
man.
buddy. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. Check out Jake Silberman, and yeah, dude, it's been fun chatting with you. Next time you get tear gas, please video it and send it to me so I can just show my fiance and be like, this is why we're not out there.
This is why,
this is why we shouldn't feel guilty.
You don't want this pretty face. You don't want to be married to that. It's my snot and tears coming down. Yeah, you don't want that.
So that was Jake, and he was telling us some stuff about protests in Portland, and I don't know what he said because I'm actually recording this before I do the interview, so I don't know how to segue out of it. But, wow, can you believe what he said? That was wild. Man, I didn't see that coming. I'm just going to try to do a bunch of different reactions in case, man, that was a terrible interview, huh? That was pretty boring. Or like a different reaction like, oh, man, that was a great interview. I can't believe he said that. Or what if he, told us who shot JFK? So there you have it, folks. JFK shot by Wayne Brady. We didn't know, but he told us. So, or I'll just pretend like he was super complimentary. Jake was saying all kinds of great stuff about me. Thank you, Jake, for saying all that. It was so nice of you to say that. So before we get out of here, again, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube. Please tell your friends. Check me out, The Real Mo Mandel on Instagram, Mo Mandel on Facebook, Twitter, Mo Mandel, although I don't really use it very much. So we're going to end, we always do the biggest signs of the apocalypse of the week, and we're going to end this episode, as we end all episodes, with a story of hope, a story of renewal, and a story as inspiring as that stupid fucking sculpture in Trafalgar Square. This is our story of hope. This is pretty cool, man. Indiana firefighters rescue a prosthetic leg worth $20,000. So here's what happened. There was a female boater who has one leg and one leg that is prosthetic, apparently worth $20,000. She is part of law enforcement or something like that. No, what is she a part of? She's part of some sort of agency or whatever. Anyway, they were out there doing some tests or something, and she lost her leg while she was swimming around. It fell off the boat or whatever. Somehow it fell into this lake, and and that's not good, right? You want two legs. Let's just be honest. And I don't mean to be offensive to one-legged people, but ideally, if at all possible, you want two legs, right? Is that fair to say? I think it is, right? And she only had the one leg, but she had the fake one, so she had two legs. She was making it work. She was already at a little bit of a disadvantage, but she had that $20,000 bling leg. That's a fucking valuable-ass leg. Some of you people out there, I've seen you. I don't know if you'd get $20,000 for your leg on an open market. I really don't. I think you'd be lucky to get 15, some of you people with the legs that you're rocking out there. Anyway, so she had this leg. It fell off, and the firefighters are like, don't worry, we're going to fucking help you. They put on their scuba gear, and they searched around the lake, and they found this woman's $20,000 leg. And then I'm assuming they were like, all right, well, what are we going to get for it? You're going to give us a $13,000 ankle, or what are we going to get for this leg? And then I was like, what do you do? What if they didn't? What if they just found that leg? Could you sell that? You know, has anybody ever done that? Has anybody ever like found a leg and been like, let's see what I can get for this? Put it on eBay. Like, what's the black market prosthetic leg dark web thing going on these days? I don't know. But anyway, they found her leg, and that's pretty awesome, man. She got her leg back, and every woman deserves 2 legs. Every woman deserves to have a second leg. You know, some women deserve 3 legs. I don't know if they want them, but they deserve them. Heck, some people deserve 5 legs, but that's it. No one deserves more than 5, and that's the story of Hanukkah. So anyway, that's been the show. Thank you guys again for watching, man. And what do you guys want to hear me talk about next week? You know, write me during the week if you hear anything that's going on. You want to hear me talk about it, hear what my take is. Hit me up. And as always, happy apocalypse. I'll see you in the ashes. That was pretty good. I like that. I'm going to keep that.